All right, so let's dive in. Okay, you saw the fun from media night at the top of the show. The Eagles were there answering all sorts of questions from the media as they prepare to face the Chiefs on Sunday. And of course, Sal Palantonio is there covering the Eagles like always all week long. Sal, what are the Eagles' plans for today?
Well, they have a day off today. They did a little media, so I guess technically they didn't have a full day off. They did have a light weightlifting session this morning at the Saints practice facility here in New Orleans, but they have the rest of the day off and tonight. But I talked to Big Dom, head of security of the Philadelphia Eagles. He said, curfew tonight, 11 p.m., back to football. And last night, I got a chance to talk to Saquon Barkley, the Eagles' stellar running back. But before I did that, I talked to his coach, Jamal Singleton, the running backs coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I said, just talk to me a little bit. Describe what Saquon Barkley is about around this football team, how he sets the tone. He said, you know what? When your best player is your hardest worker, that makes everybody else fall in line. So when I got a chance to talk to Saquon Barkley exclusively one-on-one on opening night, I asked him, what is the messaging going into Super Bowl 59? Listen to his answer.
Enjoy it, but at the same time, stay locked in. It's a business trip, but with all this stuff that comes along with it, enjoy it, have fun with it, use it, but stay locked in and keep the main thing the main thing.
The main thing is win the football game.
Of course. That's why we're here. Two teams left, the best in the AFC, the best in the NFC, and you wouldn't want it any other way.
For you personally, what does this moment mean to be here on the doorstep of going to this game?
It's amazing. It's amazing to be here, especially with these group of guys and with my teammates. It's been a dream of mine, but I know I said it before, but I'm gonna keep saying it. The dream wasn't just to make it to the Super Bowl. The dream was to win.
Congratulations. See you on Sunday.
Always appreciate you.
Okay. You know, I've watched the maturation of Saquon Barkley and his development within this football team, Laura. Talked to him in April, talked to him in June, talked to him in August, talked to him in Brazil. Seen how he has been on and off the field. And he stayed with the same message within his own self, his own family. Number one, I want to rewrite my story. But the only way I can really do that in the end is to go to the Super Bowl and win it.
I love it, Sal. We can't wait to see the Eagles and the Chiefs in this game. Saquon Barkley, as you well know, one of the best stories in the NFL this season. And the Eagles certainly leaned on Saquon throughout the season, but the pass game finally got going in the NFC Championship game. Jalen Hurts had nearly as many pass yards as he did in the first two playoff games combined. He averaged 2.5 more yards per attempt. Now, the biggest area of improvement was passing deep. He completed 4 of his 5 passes at least 15 yards downfield versus the Commanders after completing just one of those throws in the first 2 games. So, Hawk, what's key for Hurts and the pass catchers to keep that going against the Chiefs?
It's beating press coverage. The Chiefs play press coverage at a higher rate than most teams in the league. And when they go against A.J. Brown versus Trent McDuffie, McDuffie feels more comfortable and they're better in press coverage. But A.J. Brown is a press coverage beater. So this will be the biggest key for the Eagles. Can he do this effectively? This is against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're going to see him employ a physical release against the defensive back to create separation. But this is what makes A.J. Brown special. He's also elusive enough to create the quickness and slip that release just when the DB is expecting a physical jam. And then last but not least, he has the ability to put it all together. Enough speed to threaten to go and also be elusive and physical at the point to create big plays. Whenever teams press A.J. Brown, he has a 37% target rate, which is the highest in the league. So Jalen Hurts knows if you press him, I'm going to him, and they're going to see a lot of single high because of Saquon Barkley.
It's so impressive to see that. I mean, his route tree is outside release go, outside release slant, sometimes a stop, and he still wears people out.
It's ridiculous.
I think this is a huge Devontae Smith game as well. You got to think Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator, is like, we're going to stop Saquon Barkley. We're going to try to take A.J. Brown away. Devontae Smith played the Chiefs 3 times. In all 3 games, 6+ catches in all of them, over 99 yards in all of them, and 2 explosive plays of 20 yards or more in all of them. I just believe that against this elite defense that's going to try to take away your fastball, your first and second best pitch, Devontae has been such a viable threat. If one of those receivers impacts this defense, that Saquon Barkley run game is going to be a huge benefit.
Marcus, can the Eagles do enough to buy Hurts time against Chris Jones and George Karlaftis?
They absolutely can. And a part of it is what Dan and Hawk just talked about. But Saquon Barkley is the reason that they can do enough. You either use him in protection or you use him as a chess piece to create time for your quarterback, whether that's RPO in the backfield, whether that's with the threat of a screen game. There is an opportunity to slow down that blitz package and that rush. We know Steve Spagnuolo is going to do it, and most of the time he catches you off guard on some down and distance situation. But more importantly, on third down, if you get in a critical situation, you know what Steve Spagnuolo is going to do. And listening to Hawk and Dan reminded me of something from years ago. Y'all, this is the version of AJ that we saw when he was with the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry was his running back. And I think about that from the context of when you get to this game, this particular game against Trent McDuffie, and having to win those one-on-ones, it absolutely is what the game may come down to in critical down and distance situations. But to that question, Boogie, Saquon Barkley can help you a lot in the vein of not just handing them the football off, but moving them around and changing his location to slow some things down for the Kansas City Chiefs.
One, Jalen Hurts will have to do a great job of seeing the picture change. You've mentioned it, Hawk. Marcus just hit it there, the one-on-ones. It's not going to be obvious, though. Yeah. It's not like he's going to get to line of scrimmage like he did against the Commanders and you say, oh, you have one safety in the middle field. I've got double press corners on the outside. I know what the coverage is. No team lies to you coverage-wise more than Kansas City. So how good as he is post-snap is going to be a big deal. Two, defensive back blitzes. That is going to be the key in this game for the protection, the diagnosis. No team blitzes defensive backs more than the Chiefs. And if you just look at Jalen Hurts, the last time that he saw defensive back blitzes versus this defense, he was a lesser quarterback. And so, but it's not just him. This is going to be the receivers communicating to the quarterback, the offensive line, handling it all, the backs, whether it's Gainwell or Saquon Barkley or Will Shipley, handling those defensive back blitzes will be huge in this game because they are going to come and come often.
To your point, they have to expect something, especially in critical moments. That's what slipped up for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
No doubt.
Spags is going to have that plan.
It slips up versus everybody.
No, absolutely. And to your point about even just disguising the single versus double, they disguised Jalen in the 3 times that he's gone against him more than any other team by like 10%. So they know they're going to make him think so he doesn't have that clear picture just to shoot it over to A.J. Brown.
Amen.
For reference, we saw him put up a great performance against the Commanders. The Commanders only blitzed a DB on 3% of Hurts dropbacks in the NFC Championship. That'll be a whole lot higher percentage in this game.
Showtime Mahomes means that biggest moments when the lights are the brightest, that is going to shine the brightest.
All day, all day. To the last I think everything you got.
It's Showtime Mahomes, baby. He shows up all the time.
Showtime.
It came from my dad when I was young, and I'd always try to slide around and make diving catches, and so they started calling me Showtime.
Mahomes magic. Patrick Mahomes is incredible today.
I mean, a one-of-a-generation type of player, so.
It seems like every year we question whether or not the Chiefs have enough offensive firepower to get the job done. And here they are for a 3rd consecutive year, ready to answer that question. But how is this offense still so successful? Well, Dan's going to show us this play from the perspective of Patrick Mahomes, thanks to Next Gen Stats and the Status Pro Visualizer, which allows the recreation of the play exactly as it happened in the game. Dan, go to work.
Hawk, it's about efficiency. No offense in the NFL was more efficient. No offense had more 10-play plus drives than this Kansas City Chiefs one. It's because of the RPO, the run-pass option. So when the Chiefs design their RPO in early downs, they want to do a couple things. Number one, they get into what we call stacks and/or bunches. They'll take 2 or 3 people on one side of the ball and shrink them down to those offensive tackles and 2 people on the opposite side. So let's go be Patrick Mahomes. Why are we doing that? If you're the quarterback, you want to get 2 things from the line of scrimmage. Number one, as you peek out and you see this corner with outside leverage and this corner out with outside leverage, you're thinking, okay, more than likely a zone defense. And then you see these safeties in a 2-zone defense, 2 safeties back there. You're anticipating some type of umbrella coverage where they're trying to play almost a top-down defense. Now, why are they doing that? Because offenses like the Chiefs get in these shrunk-down formations. It's because they want to get people running away from man coverage. We'll get these deep crossers to create those explosive plays. And that's why defensively, teams like the Bills and the Eagles are going to play in that shell defense. This is where the RPO, the run pass option, comes into play. We are trying to put these second level defenders in conflict. We're going to do two things at once because they're playing with vision. I want to show everybody what it looks like. This is simple. They'll take somebody from the inside of their formation and make them go out, and then somebody from the outside of their formation and make them go in with a little bit of a slant, stop, and/or spot route, okay? Let's go be Patrick. You get to line of scrimmage. Again, you're anticipating zone defense. The person you're trying to put in conflict is this backside linebacker, okay? This backside linebacker playing with vision. Once he sees the ball get snapped, and let's pretend this running back has the ball in his belly and he's running downhill. His first job is to step forward. He's got run defense. The same with this linebacker. You see that ball get snapped and the ball goes to the belly back. You're going to step forward because you think, here comes that run game, okay? Let's go back and be Patrick Mahomes. This is a very simple read for him. Remember, you're anticipating zone defense. You get the snap and the ball, you're going to take and put it in the belly of the back, and you're just reading this defender right here. If this defender, when I put the ball into the running back's belly, if he widens and goes out because he's paying attention to this receiver going to the flat, well, great. Then I'm just going to take the ball, hand it off, and my offensive line, they're run blocking, okay? They're run blocking. They're not even thinking about pass. So if that defender widens, we're going to hand the ball off and be efficient. If this defender gets nosy and hangs inside, goes to his left, my right, then this becomes the pass concept where I'm going to think about throwing either the flat route and/or stop route. Now, if you're Patrick, right, let's keep our eyes strictly on this linebacker, okay? I get that snap and I put the ball in the belly of the back, but I'm also keeping vision on that backer. What's that linebacker do? What's that linebacker do? What's that linebacker do? Linebacker stepping in. Great. Now I no longer have the ball in the belly of the back. This becomes a pass play. If I'm Patrick Mahomes, I then want to get vision quickly to this corner, okay? If this corner, as this receiver is shooting to the flat, widens, what he should do, because this is his zone responsibility, then I know as this linebacker is going inside and moving towards the ball, he's moving towards the run, where's the vacancy? It is right here. There is nobody responsible for this space. So if you're Patrick and you have that vision on that backer and you see him continuously stepping in, this is easy now. This is a 1-2 read, meaning I've got two people and you as a defense only have one. So I'm 2-on-1ing that corner right now going, okay, if you can't be right. I have two things happening. You are responsible for two areas. You can only cover one. And as he widens, then I just replace this linebacker with the throw. That's how easy these RPOs are versus zone defenses. I am making you wrong. Let's put yourself, I want to show everybody what it's like to be the perspective of this linebacker, okay? You're going to see this back go down. All of a sudden the handoff happens. You're like, oh gosh, here comes run. And then Patrick replaces me with the throw, and I'm too late. Let's be Patrick Mahomes. Okay, this is a very simple read, full speed. This linebacker, I'm putting you in conflict. You cannot be right in zone defense. If you step down, I'm throwing the ball. Snap happens, 1, 2, I replace you with the throw, and on first down, I get an efficient 9-yard play. That's the name of the game for this Chiefs offense and the challenge for the Eagles defense. You got to handle the efficiency of their run-pass option on early downs.
The Chiefs' offensive efficiency against the Bills was the highest of any offense this season. But we have to see if that efficiency, which is doing things right, equates to effectiveness, which is doing the right things against the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Love it, dude. So good.